1-0 up, first leg of the semi-final of the League Cup, which is now the Carabao Cup. And Man United tonight, I watched it, as I say, destroyed Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. I mean, Fernandes, Rashford, and is it Wyckoff? They three scored the goals, and you'd have to say it's good night Nottingham Forest, and it looks like as if Newcastle's going to be in the first big final, domestic final, for a long time. And they've got a serious chance of winning it. I mean, the way they've played and the consistency they've had since the turnaround and since the new owners come in has been remarkable. So, have to say well done to Newcastle United. I'm a Borough lad, Borough fan, but Newcastle doing very, very well. Middlesbrough fans, a couple of talking points. Why did inform Middlesbrough, and we've been informed this season since Michael Carrick's arrival, how has there been such a... And Sunday, I looked at it, we didn't lay a glove on... we were in 4 points ahead of Sunderland for a derby game on the Sunday. 12 o'clock kickoff, 40-odd thousand, and we didn't turn up. Never laid a glove in Sunderland. Never put in a tackle. There was a lack of desire, fire in the bellies. We just lacked in every department. I mean, Stefan's poor performance and decision-making and fumbling, I think it sent the jitters through the team. Certainly did me, and I was sitting in the sofa watching it. I didn't go to the game. I could have went, but I never went. So, not good enough. I mean, Sunderland's first goal for Stewart, ball over the top. Big Stewart's aggressive, he's strong, he's fairly quick. What are your opinions on Fry's red card? I'm coming to that, Teddy. So Fry's red card, so the ball goes over the top. If you've not seen it, ball's over the top. Stewart, one ball beats a back four. So Middlesbrough back four, caught square, one ball over the top. The right back, who's Smith, he should cover round. If he sees danger and Fry and that's getting caught out, Lennon, he should come and cover. He doesn't. We stay rigid in the four, flat four. Ball over the top. Big Stewart uses his weight and his aggression, gets in front of Fry. Fry's all over him like a rash, pulling and hauling. It's a definite sending off. Borough fans who are saying it's not a sending off, well, I don't know the laws of the game, never did as a player, still don't know them. I don't even think the modern referee knows the laws of the game. VR, we don't know what's going on there. But what I do know is when a striker or anybody's going through 1-on-1 with a goalkeeper, which he was in front of Fry. Fry wasn't going to beat him with pace, and he pulls and hauls him, it's a sending off. Because he's last in line to come to a 1-against-1. So sending off definite. No ifs or buts, in my opinion, and I'm a Borough fan, Dale Fry fan. But it was a sending off. Shouldn't have been caught out with one ball. Then when he gets through, I watched it over and over, probably slightly an 18-yard line. I don't even think it was an 18-yard line. I don't think it was a penalty. So, and then Sunderland kept chipping away with down to 10 men. And Diallo, is that how you pronounce his name? He's a very good player. He caused his problems throughout. He scored the second, and it was good night Middlesbrough. I've played many a derby game, so I know what it's like. But I can't remember a team that I played in going out there, no wearing a glove in opposition. But that, I mean, early doors, rattle somebody. Sunderland, we're in your patch, but we're going to sit about it today, and we're going to be strong and up for it, and with real fire. Never showed any of that. There was just a lack of it, and I didn't get it. You get caught out, you have to let them take the shot, then deal with it. When you get caught out, well, yeah, possibly. But as I say, Dale was pulling and we appealed and they get turned down, and rightly so. I'm not going to sit here and bluff it. We're talking North East tonight, and I'm a Middlesbrough fan, former player, and love nothing better than beating Newcastle Sunderland, but I like to think I'm honest, and we got what we deserved in Sunday. We wake up call. Still think we need a couple of players in at Middlesbrough. As I say, Newcastle, big Linton, Joe Linton, who's, I mean, he's the fans' favourite at the minute, one of the fans' favourite. He could have had a hat-trick last night, but it looks like it's going to be a Newcastle-Manchester United final. So, yeah, looking forward to that one. I'm sure where do you think we will finish at the end of the season? Who's that from? Where do you think we'll finish for Teddy? Where do I think we'll finish? I still think we can finish top 6. I still think we need 2 players in. Even in Burnley High, Borough fan. We need a couple of players in. We've got one in, Archer. And I have to give the lad time. He's still got 18 games to prove something and do something. But when he ran out, I was just he only got a wee short run out and come off the bench on Sunday. But he's small and he's lightweight. I know he'll be quick, and I know he needs a certain kind of service because he's small. But he reminds me of like a Barrigan who came for the Arsenal last year. I don't really. I think this is going to be a difficult league for him. But we still need a couple of players in. I mean, the director of football at Middlesbrough before Christmas was saying, hopefully get 2 or 3 players in, and we'll try our best, and we'll back Carrick. And well, we're running out of time now. We're getting near the end of the month. And really, I hope we can get another couple of players in because we need them. I've said this when we've been doing brilliant anyway, but we've seen this for a while. Colin says, funny how it's not a Mickey Mouse Cup now that Newcastle United are odds on to get the final, Bernie. It was 2004, laugh out loud. That's very true, Colin. And Colin's got a good point, Newcastle fans. You know, you have knocked this cup for years along with everybody. The Carling Cup, Mickey Mouse League Cup, Tin Pot. No, you'd kill for it. Use would murder for it. Use Newcastle lot. Use Geordie lot. Anyway, last night Hartlepool. I mean, they're still third bottom. Lost 3-1 away to Carlisle. Can they get out of it, Hartlepool fans? Can you get out of that bottom 3? Tell you what, it's going to be difficult. It's really going to be. I mean, Keith Curl's in there. His hands are tied. He's not got a lot of money. He's scraping the barrel financially, I would think. And feeling the effects. And Darlington's still flying high, 3rd spot. Well done, Darlow. Was it home against Spennymoor on Saturday? Yeah, so anyway, get in touch, talk about your team. Come on, try to encourage Newcastle, Sunderland and Hartlepool and Darlow. Whoever you support in the North East, any team. With a couple of players that look like they won't be involved much. Bowler, Dick Steele could be It's Newcastle are just used to lifting teacup, Bernie. Here we go. The old banter's back with the North East. See, when you talk about North East, there's a bit of banter involved. No, but you look at the strikers that we've got with respective clubs. You've got Akpom, who's on 13. The big lad Stewart. Don't forget, he's been out for a while, injury. He's got 11. Almiron, Newcastle, 9. Tell you what, that lad's done well. When he first moved in and all the money he cost, he was having a mare and everybody was on his case, but he's turned it around. I think Big Joe Link was similar. Is it Umery? Is it Josh Umery? Hartlepool, is that how you pronounce his name? He's got 12. And Matt Beck, Darlow, I think he's got most goals. He's got 15. So the strikers at the respective clubs have got grabbing a few goals, but we're still letting goals in at the back. I've just looked at the fixtures for the next 2 games. So Newcastle next 2 games, Southampton second leg. That's Tuesday, 31st of January, semi-final in the League Cup. Second leg, they're 1-0 up. I wouldn't put my money against Newcastle. And then they're at home in the league to West Ham on the 4th of February. Then Sunderland next 2 games, FA Cup. Well, Sunderland fans, would you play your best team against Fulham on the 28th? I would. I think Tony Mowbray will. And then you're away to Millwall on the 4th of February. And then obviously Middlesbrough, we play on Saturday against Watford, high-flying Watford. They're above us at the minute. And then we've Blackpool at home next week, who are, I think they're in the bottom 3. And then Hartlepool at home to Colchester. Then away to Doncaster, Darlington. They've got 3 games, but the next 2 games is Spennymoor at home, and then home to Southport on the Tuesday. So good luck to all the North East teams. Hi Bernie, I sent you a friend request. Logan, I'll look at it later, mate. I can't look right now, but yeah, I'll follow you, Logan. I'll remember the name. Dave Saunders says Mugger did a fantastic job stopping Akpom and Giles, Bernie. Well, Dave, I don't know who you support, but I was going to mention that Mugger did what he did against Middlesbrough when he was Blackburn Rovers manager last year. Jones at the time was playing really well, and he was a big problem, a biggest outlet on the right. And Mugger did his homework and stifled him out of the game. And they beat us. I think it was 1-0 that night. I was there. Saturday, or Sunday rather, I watched it. And hey, look, I know about Middlesbrough. If I was an opposing manager, scout, whatever player, I'd say, how do we stop Middlesbrough? Stop Giles. Giles didn't get one ball of any note of quality in the game. Don't forget, he's our biggest line of supply. He's been fantastic this season. He's been that good, I think, there'll be bigger clubs than us looking for his signature when he returns to Wolves or he'll be sold on. I don't think we'll be able to afford him. I think he's top player going forward, but he's flawed defensively. And Mowbray, or Mugger, my mate, has says, look, stifle him out the game. That means if he's not in it, Akpom's not in it because he's a top scorer. Akpom, I think the only very few touches, Akpom. That was down to good Martin and Gels not getting the ball because Gels would have created things. But I've looked at it again and I've thought before I come on here tonight regarding Middlesbrough. Big Mac Crooks has done well. As I said it the other week, he scored 2 against Birmingham recently. He'll always get the goal no matter where he's playing. But he's not a centre forward, in my opinion. Well, he's not a centre forward. I'm telling you, he's not a centre forward. On the right, Foz had one shot. That was the only real shot of note against Sunderland. Good save with the goalkeeper. When he cut in for the right, he hit it across the goal. Good save with the Sunderland goalkeeper. He's not a right winger. And I'm looking now at Giles, and I'm thinking, he's not a left winger. So what I would do now, if I was Carrick, I'd be looking to buy a left winger and a right winger. Well, I'll bring 2 in, right and left wingers. Easier said than done. Archer may start the next game. You think that's for, is it Duffer? Yeah, Duffer, I think you're right. So I would, if I was Middlesbrough, I'd get a left winger and the right winger. Hopefully we can get them in January. Bit of pace, trickery, good deliveries. Either side. And I'd move McGree in one. And I would put Archer up front. But I have to say, Archer, I've only seen him sporadically, a couple of cameo appearances. So I'm not going to judge him, but his height right away frightened me, I thought. In the Championship. Don't forget, I played in Championship. Yeah, you can say it was 100 years ago, fine. But the game's never changed. I still think we need a bit more aggression up there. And this Archer lad isn't going to give us that. Barrigan never. He was lightweight. Conley, he was overweight. But it never worked. Joey Henry, how you, Joey? Why are we being linked with Spence again? I seen this nonsense. I've got these. I'll read these out once. Yeah, we're talking about Spence. Will we get him on loan and all that rubbish? No, we don't. Look, anybody that's been here and moved on, let them move. I always say it's like if you're married or you've got a woman and she says, I'm off for a younger model, a fitter model, a richer model, and then 2 years down the line it doesn't work out. Do you say, oh, come on, and you come? No, well, get a case and chuck them in the River Tees. That's my opinion. Some people okay with open the door, but I wouldn't. So Middlesbrough players or any player, whether you're Newcastle, Sunderland, you move for a reason. You move because you're ambitious, which is nothing wrong with, and you move because there's more money. 2 reasons why you move. When it doesn't work out, why should we bring them back? We're not a charity club. Lad goes to Nottingham Forest, plays very well, gets promotion, plays his part. I remember him posting a picture of his big cigar in the Nottingham Forest scarf. Fine, I'm cool with that. And then he ends up big money move to Tottenham Hotspur, Spurs, where the next day after he signed for 12 million, whatever it was, Conte says, and that's why I like it, Conte. Conte doesn't mess about. He doesn't carry the can for everybody. Their deficiencies, he lets everybody know that they're calling the shots. He says, I'm not responsible. I never signed them. So I don't think it'll happen anyway. Watch Pools well, beat Bernie for Timmy, late hire Timmy. So he's saying, watch Hartlepool last night. Hartlepool fans. Bert, where's my favourite Bert? If you live next door to Bert and you watch this, give him a knock. He used to join the Legend show. This is only the one leg in now because Gatesy and Malcolm, I still see and keep in touch with Mickey Horswell. But some score prediction for Saturday for Logan. Well, I think the Borough against Watford's going to be a toughie. I'll be honest, if I was a betting man, I'd probably say a draw. And I don't think a draw. I think we need to win. There's no reason why we can't win. If I've been very good. Take the Brighton game away. That was the cup. And then they went and destroyed Liverpool a few days later. So that was no disgrace for getting beat with them in the cup. Watford, well, Sunday was poor. I'm not going to defend that. Defend indefensible. But this is a big game. Watford. Gary Margaret says, I feel there's something not right in our style of play, Bernie. Need a midfielder to tread a ball to a striker. 1-on-1. Everything seems to come from the wings. Midfielder's not sure what to do with the ball. Needs to improve. 2 more players will help up the Borough. Gary, I totally agree. And that's what I'm looking at now. I'm looking thinking, this is too easy. I don't know how it took so long for teams to cotton on how we play. You know, Giles is my biggest outlet. Stop Giles. You stop. I look at the midfield. Hackney and Howson, good players. Hackney's just come in, breath of fresh air. Does he score? No, really. Does he create? Not really. Does Howson? No. So there's two that doesn't produce to the front men, which is essential for Akpom and whoever's up alongside them. On the left, McGree is not an out-and-out left-sided player. He tucks in and obviously Giles bomb forwards and gets the balls in. But if you stop Giles and McGree's doing his wandering and you've got Foz on the right who's not a right winger, things are out of sync. I wouldn't do that. I'd put McGree in there, and between Howson and Hackney, it'd be one or the other. I'd probably chop and change them for now at the end of the season. Get a left winger in. Push McGree in one. He's definitely playing there. He's one of the attacking players because he will score more goals. He's a very good player. Don't get me wrong, he's not been great every game, but he scored some wonder goals. And I say start of the season he'd get more than Tavernier, who moved to Bournemouth. And he has. He's equalled it already, and he's got 18 games to beat it, and he will beat it. But I think he'd be better in there. I think he's still at a loose end on the left. And up front, as I say, Akpom, he's had a great season so far, but he needs a bit of help and assistance up there. And I don't know if this lad Archer is going to be the answer. I hope he is. Where do you see Isaiah going from here? I still love him. So James Mitchinson. Isaiah Jones. As I say, Isaiah Jones came in, breath of fresh air. He was under Warnock, wasn't it? Did very well, looked the part. Then I think he was injured, and then he came back in, and then he's moved position from wing back to on the right side, and now he's out in the wilderness. People speculating he's on his way, but he's still here. He was left out. Well, I don't know if he's left out, injured, whatever. But he wasn't the last home game. He wasn't the team sheet, not in the bench, not the starting lineup. So everybody just put two and two together and get five and said he was off. There might be negotiation going on behind the scenes. I personally, I wouldn't be surprised if he went. I wouldn't be surprised if Paddy McNair went. So, only one team, Bernie, the mighty Borough, Dave Saunders. Well, Dave, I agree totally, but I'm just trying to encourage North East people to get a bit of, let off a bit of steam and a bit of honesty for them and a bit of honesty for me. Because a lot of the guys that's doing the radios up in that Newcastle, they'll be scared to set in. Well, they can't set in detriment, but Newcastle, they're flying. But Sunderland fans. Bang on there, Bernie. A beanie. This is for Ryan Mars. I hope it's a misspelling. Beanie. Without Giles, there's no Akpom. Worrying for next season, though. As I say, that I don't know how teams have not cottoned on. Giles, as I says about 6-7 weeks ago, Akpom will continue to get goals. He obviously has to stay clear of injuries, and touch wood he does, but he has to hope and pray that Giles doesn't miss games. Because if he does, that's the main line of supply gone. Truth, Mr. Slaven, did you tell your mate how to beat us? Hope to see Tony in the playoff final up the effing Borough Dave Ditchburn. Dave, no, I have not seen. I got in touch with Mugger over a week ago by text, didn't talk to him, and I know you're putting smiley face, you're winding me up. No, I wouldn't do that. I'm too professional for that, and Mowbray's too professional for that. Mugger's too professional. No, there's no way. Look, Mugger lives local. Mugger, they've got everything these days. Into scouts galore. They watch every video and movement and DVDs and everything written down. No. As I say, I'm very surprised that teams come and let Giles have the freedom of the park. Which he does, and he does it brilliantly well. And for me, he's the player of the season. I think he's been terrific. And those out there that say, oh, but he's flawed defensively, most defenders in the modern game are. Whether they're fullbacks, wingbacks, call them what you like, they're not great defenders. Colin says, 2 home games, we must make them count, and we can if we get them from the start. The crowd can play the part. Ryan says, push Giles in the left wing and get a decent left back in. Could do that. You could do that. But Giles would find it a bit harder. The worry is, but this is for Paul Mack, the worry is, Bernie, when Wilder took over, Jones was a revelation. And for the first 10-12 games was amazing. Then we get found out. We had no plan B for the rest of this history. This feels a similar scenario under Carrick, where we have now been worked out as we don't have any players that are comfortable taking the ball under pressure and everything attacking comes through gels. And this is the still carrot lights. Thoughts? Well, Paul, yeah, I agree. So, you know, as a Borough fan, if you're watching Borough, you know you need to be a half, if you didn't know, and any Borough fan that watches us, home or away, Gels is my biggest threat for the opponents. He's my most creative player. I think he's made something like 10 goals for a full-back position. That's good going, that. I mean, if I was a middle or midfielder, like a Hackney or a Howson or a right winger like Foz, and this guy in the left back position, because we're playing flat back four, was making more goals than me, I'd be a bit concerned. I'd be questioning myself, thinking, I'm meant to be a creative player here. And they are. So for me, we don't have any players. Yeah, I think Carrot will be surely Carrot's get in now to your director of football saying, come on, we've got one in. Only put a couple of cameo. We need another couple of players in for the deadline. I've signed here and hoping to get to the window and things going well, and then to reassure the players that we mean business and rubber stamp it, we're getting a few bodies in. Well, at the minute we've only got one in. And I tell you what, if we still only get one in, I think it could be costly and all. McGree can be a Zenden type player. McGree, yeah, Bolo Zenden, I know what you're saying. Do you think Akpom is better than Stewart? Stewart injured for 4 months. He would be in his 20s by now and Sunderland comfortable in the playoffs. So obviously this is a Sunderland supporter and I thank for getting involved. The Pennywell Pundit, that's a good name. I'm a Mackham, but good luck to all the North Eastians for Colin Maya. Thanks for that, Colin. So, do you think Akpom is better than Stewart? Look, I don't watch enough of Stewart. I couldn't really comment. I just know at the minute, Akpom's, well, he was last week top of the goal scoring charts of the Championship, so he's the best at the minute. I know what you're saying. Stewart missed a load of games with injury. Different type players. Stewart's more aggressive, taller, probably a bit faster, gamer, but both are good goal scorers. So, yeah. I'm just still reading out we don't have any players that are comfortable taking the ball under pressure. No, as I say, it's up to Carrick now. Carrick to go to this side of the football and say, come on, what's happening? Are we pushing the ball out? Are we getting somebody in? The guy we've got in's cost nothing. It's a loan to the end of the season. I've seen them come and go. They're fly-by-nights. If they do it, great. If they don't, they still think great because they're still getting well paid and they just go back to the parent club. So I don't really think loans work. Anyway, Paul Gamble says, like Cloughie used to say, you start from the back. The point is, Stefan coming, that's what I was coming to, was stir him to get in the USA squad for the World Cup, which didn't happen. Need a keeper who will save you 9 points a season. See many leaving before the window shuts. I see many leaving. It's people want in. Oh, you're asking me. I think there'll be a couple go, but I'm sure and hope and pray there's a couple in. Heard we linked with another striker from Leeds. Yeah, I heard that as well. Stefan, as I say, I don't think, I'm a fan of Crooks's, but he's not a centre forward. Foz on the right, that is not his position. I think the lad would agree with that. So I don't think he's on the right, and I don't think Stefan's a good goalkeeper. And that's me just being straight-faced, ruthless. Stefan, I have kittens every time he's got the ball. To play it in a derby game, middle of the goal, just outside the 18-yard box, is ludicrous. It's ridiculous. Man City do it. I say it every week. They're the best in the world. They've got top players. Top international players. Stefan came to Middlesbrough, no doubt, to get in the shot window and he make it into the USA squad for the World Cup, and it didn't happen. He's still in our team. He plays no matter what. People are saying, oh, it's in his contract. I don't know the answer to that. But for me personally, I would drop him. I wouldn't have him fanning about wrong areas, because what happens, it's like me as a striker. I miss chance after chance. Well, he's the first one. Stuart had the ball in the net. Ball came over. Lads hit it. He should have held on to it, Stefan. He spilled it, and the big man was alive and aware and on his toes and anticipating Stuart, and he rifled it in the roof of the net. Thankfully, it was offside. Disallowed. So that was Stefan has spilled it. Then he plays the mad ball, middle of the goal, and it ends up, Diallo, however you pronounce his name, he missed a sitter. Didn't he hit the target? Should have scored. He scored at the end, but he should have scored that. And that would have been down to Stefan. Now, we didn't get beaten Saturday because of Stefan. But we could have been 2-0 down in the first half because of Stefan. And what happens is, right as I say, you miss goals, keeper makes a couple of clangers, gives his centre-backs in the defence and the midfield and the team, it spreads. They're all going, dear God, what's he doing? But I'll switch it. Michael Carrick, maybe he's ordering them to continue to do that. But you're looking for trouble. It's suicidal. It's madness. We're Middlesbrough. We're not Man City. We'll never be Man City. So we need to start playing. If you're going to play for the keeper, go to either side. Good evening, Bernie. Why did you get rid of Dick Steele, McNair, etc. when we need a good squad because of injuries and bans? That's for Jeffrey Wood. Why did you get rid of Dick Steele, McNair? Why get rid? I was going to say they're still there. No. Listen. To get players in, I think the only way we're going to succeed is to get players out. Me personally, I'd keep them all. Everybody's here now to say, right, you're going nowhere, get a couple of fresh faces in to boost morale and keep things going. But I don't see that happening. I think Carrick will be told, we get this out to get them in. But Carrick's got as much say as the director of coaching or director of football. This Kieran Scott. He was sitting when Carrick joined the club, he was sitting in the press conference that day. I listened intently what he was saying, and he plays a major part of who comes and who goes. And Carrick's not been a manager like a Wilder or a Warnock or a Pulis or a Sam Allardyce or a Ferry. Those guys ruled the roost. The modern game has turned now and changed. So Carrick's quite comfortable coming into that environment with somebody else maybe picking players or letting players go. No player is above being dropped, loan or contracted. No, it's true. Yeah, so Carrick's come into that environment, so he's cool with that. But I tell you what, if he doesn't get a couple of players in January and we slip at that top six and we don't make it, I think they'll end up at loggerheads, without a shadow of a doubt. The difference is Carrick will carry the can and get sacked, and the Kieran Scott guy will still be in a job. And this is what annoys me about the modern game. I'm just saying our team, the team I support, how we function. I know how that's what happens, but that happens all over the country. Let's hope you're right, Bernie. Scott got rid of 2 managers. Jeffrey, if I'm playing a major part, he did get rid of the 2. Well, he played a part, and the reason was they were used to doing what they wanted to do, and then I've got this 38-year-old upstart. Probably that's what they're saying. Thinking he's never managed. He's telling us we've gained promotions at Sheffield United and been around the block and worked the ladder to get to where we are. And we'll get this young spunky telling us how we control players and finance. And the thing is, the guys that's in that position will always favour the chairman and the chief executive of the football clubs because they can sack them. The guy, the manager or coach can't. So he will always favour they two. And that will happen to all clubs. I'm not a fan of that. If he's getting you duds, he gets sacked as well. Can't be one guy carrying the can, getting all the pressure when everybody's putting their hand in the pot. Who do you think could replace Dick Steele and McNair? Keith, I don't know. I've never really looked at other players at the minute. You know, I'm not a scout. I don't look at every game. I look at games in the top flight, but I don't think we're going to get any of them. But Paddy McNair, don't forget, Paddy never let us down since he joined us. Came from Sunderland, didn't he? And Paddy's played in a couple of positions. He played centre-half. He played one of the 3 at the back. He's played central midfield. Never let us down. 2 years ago, he was arguably player of the season. And now, obviously, different people come in and different ideas and different formations. We're going for it at the back. That's scuppered Big Paddy's progress. So, and Paddy understands that. But Paddy won't be happy. He's an international player. It was a misspelt. Sorry, Bernie. Ryan. Talk whatever. Bernie, do you honestly think any more players will come in January? Timmy Leach. I think there'll be one, but I don't think it'll be money in the table. I think it'll be another loan. And surely Carrick's discussed this, because don't forget, Carrick at the start. No, I'm not trying to wind things up, right? I'm a Borough fan. But Carrick initially spoke to Middlesbrough, then he walked away, didn't he? That was public knowledge. Then he came back. So when he came back, something must have changed. The dynamics must have changed, or we'll get you this in January. He's probably thought, yeah, okay, that's great. January comes, we've got one in on loan, Archer. Surely he's thinking, come on, we need another couple. And I know what they say, and what that director, coaching, whatever it is, director of football, all these different names. The guy who pulls the strings, What he says is, it has to fit the criteria to go with the club. You know, because we've got a good group of lads. And I get that. And it must be, it's easy me sitting here saying it, but it's harder going to do it. But I'm sure if you've got money, it's easier. But I don't, as I say, he'll be controlled the guys above him. So he's in control, maybe as much say who comes, who goes, the same as Carrick. But when it comes to the real money men, the two guys above, it's in their hands, isn't it? Mohammed says, increasingly confident Borough will get Belazer by the end of the window, maybe a wing or two, but we've always been clear that they're not desperate to add this man. But why are we not desperate? Why are we not desperate? If you're going to make a statement of intent as a football club, Middlesbrough, the team I support and follow and played for and was loyal to and successful, now's the time to do it. If we let go by the window, couple of injuries, injury to Giles, injury to Icon, what do we do? What do we do? Come on, Mohammed. We need to make a statement of intent, bring a couple of players in. Other clubs will think, Middlesbrough, in that top six, have just signed a couple of good players there. Look at that. They really mean business. If we don't, and we just go into the end of the January window, and we've only brought one in on loan, who's 5 foot, whatever, I don't think that's a big boost of morale for anybody. We're in a good position. Now's the time to tempt players. Come on, we're a good team. Carrick's refreshing. New manager, coach. You know, everybody's heard of Carrick. He's no longer retired. He's worked under some of the biggest managers around. Come on, let's get to Middlesbrough. Great chairman, Steve Gibson. Come on, let's go there. Do you feel next season Coburn needs a chance up top with his form at Bristol Rovers? Keith, no. As I say, if I was a kid, I'd be thinking, well, where do I lie here? You know, I can't get a go at Middlesbrough. They're bringing another loan player in. I'm contracted. I'm 6'3", something that we lack, and we're bringing a 5'0" centre forward in on loan, who's not a Middlesbrough player, and yet Coburn is a Middlesbrough player, but he's out there. So, no, I think next year, well, what happens if we get promotion? Boatload of money, Coburn won't be there. So I think it's difficult for Coburn. I'm not knocking Coburn, I'm saying the reality is, Colin says higher, Bernie higher. I'm going to read these out, because I always promise I never do it. Keep on coming in. Come on, Sunderland, Newcastle, Hartlepool. Give us a few of your messages, bum your teams up. How good is Mugger doing? Come on, Sunderland fans, how good is Mugger doing? I just want to mention this thing before I read these out. It's the Gary Parkinson night. I've said this before. I'm not to bore you. This is a big event, a charity event for a lad I played with called Gary Parkinson. Parky suffered what they call locked-in syndrome in 2010. He's still in need of 24-hour care. He's a local lad, come from Thornaby. Played for Middlesbrough between 86 and 93. And he's a big mate of mine. Great guy in that period. Anyway, all the class of 86 are turning up at Town Hall in Middlesbrough, which holds 840 people. And the tickets are flying, and I really mean that. If you're looking to order a table, tables are running out. I'm being serious. And the tables, I have to write it down because I forget. It's 7.enterprises@hotmail.co.uk. If you want to book a table of 10, it's 500 quid. So 7.enterprises@hotmail.co.uk, £500, and that's for meet and greet. You meet the lads, and all the lads 86 will be there. Tony Mowbray's going to be there, who's obviously Sunderland manager, but my old captain. Bruce Rare's going to be there, who the lads nicknamed Gaddafi behind his back. He's going to be there. Steve Gibson, the king of Teesside, I've called him for many years. He's going to be there. Chris McGlade, the comedian for Redcar, very, very funny, intelligent, bright, and not frightened to say what he wants. So he's going to be the comedian. Like Gary Phillipson, who's on the local BBC here in Teesside, he's going to compare, and we've got everything going, and it's going to be a great night. I'll be having an emotional night because Parky Sale's going to be there. So yeah, it's going to be a terrific night, and Alistair Griffin's going to be the singer as well. Sunderland supporter Tony, great job. He seems a very down-to-earth guy. So this is is it Dazes? You're right, Bernie. Coburn should be here leading the line. Okay, Sunderland supporter Tony, great. Muggers is a great guy. Also, Bryn. Yeah, that's right. The keeper. Give those kids a go. Yes, Bryn. Is he up in Scotland? No, he's here. Where is he? Is it Swindon? But similarly, he's getting rave reviews, and he's been back under Wilder, gets sent back again, or moved to another team on loan. Yeah, Yeah, so Chris McGlade's comedian, Gary Thompson's compere, Alistair Griffin's going to be singing tonight. There'll be clips on the big screen. Can you imagine a big grand town hall in 86 team, bit of Steel River in the background, Chris Rea, Borough lad. But as I say, Party Cell's going to be he's going to be involved. But if you can't afford a table, or you're only going with your mate or on your own, there's seats, but you go via the town hall for those. Who's this from? Is it Conrad? Mugger was not many first choices Sunderland manager, but he has exceeded expectations with forward leaning football, timely subs, and a likeable personality. Conrad, I'm glad you appreciate Mugger. Mugger's a great guy. He's intense. He's fully focused. I'm sure he wakes up during the night thinking about what he can do better or what he can change, and he'll be delighted with Saturday's result. Yeah, he's born and bred in Redcar in this area and played for Middlesbrough, but he's a professional. This nonsense, I had a Borough fan the other week after one of the Borough games saying Mugger's a traitor, he's a turncoat, he's a this, that. Nonsense. Absolute bollocks. It's absolute rubbish. It's like saying Carrick's a Geordie. Why should he be Middlesbrough manager? It's nonsense. They're professional people. I remember Gordon Strachan, dare I say it, in front of Middlesbrough fans. He had a nightmare at Middlesbrough. When he was at Celtic, he first stated the press conference, he says, look, I'm not a Celtic fan, but I'm a professional manager. And he did brilliant at Celtic. He wasn't a Celtic fan. Right, I'm going to read a few. So the Parky night, table of 10, meet and greet, £500 for a table of 10. Balcony seats are £50 for a meet and greet, or you can get £30 seats. As I say, on the floor, they're going very, very well. Have you noticed Mowbray has worn Sunderland jackets every game in the dugout, but wore a Boss Gillette the 2 times we played Borough? The Pennywell pundit. Well, I didn't actually know he was always wearing the Sunderland one, but I did see he was wearing Boss. Was it Boss as in Boss the trendy Boss, or was it the Boss of Sunderland? Yeah, I did. I've seen it, Boss. I laughed. Gary Patterson was classic right back in Middlesbrough. Never had a better right back since. And all those lads from 86 to 93 all had their heart on their sleeve and never had a full team like it up the Borough. Keith, few say words there, Bosses and Hugo Boss. Yeah, I gathered that. I thought it was. Yeah, Gary Patterson, as I say, the lads, since 2010, he's got what you call locked-in syndrome. He's paralysed. He can only communicate via his eyes, and he needs 24-hour care. So, me along with my missus I've done all the phoning the lads and roping people in. That's the easy bit. My missus does the difficult bit, you know, doing the financial side. And my big mate Tony's helped as well. So we're all pulling in the same direction. People have donated prizes and the bot tables. We only started plugging it last week, and it's, as I say, it's gone incredible. I'd say I've no doubt it'll sell out, but there's been a few in the past. First one I ever did was a few years ago, and it was in the tall trees. There was 1,100 people there. This one holds 840 or something, and it'll be full. As I say, it'll be a great night, an emotional night. Parky will be there. His wife Deborah and family who do a terrific job looking after Parky. Yeah, it'll be euphoric as well. Get your missus to set up a GoFundMe page so everyone can donate, Bernie. No, there is a GoFund thing. If you look at my Facebook, Twitter, one of my mates did it. There is a GoFund where you can donate if you can't make it to you don't have to be a Middlesbrough fan. This is a guy that played, he wore the shirt with pride, didn't have to kiss the badge, local lad, born in the northeast, greatest lad you'll ever meet, family man, terrific guy, and as I say, awful. I have a feeling it could be a Borough Sunderland playoff final. This is a bold gamble. Just watch a clip on YouTube. You, Bernie, playing West Ham in '89. You getting looked for you getting booked for over celebrating, but didn't look there was anything in it. Yeah, that was funny, Paul, because what it was, that was no First Division, the equivalent of the Premier, and it was a game. West Ham were favourites, so we went down there, and I always remember we were poor the night, and it was into the second half, and there was I can't remember the lad up front, big centre forward. He's took the free kick and it's on the halfway line. I don't know why he was taking it, because he should have been in the box. He was a giant and he was centre forward. But anyway, he goes to take the free kick and I'm jumping up and down holding my knackers, like, trying to prevent him or put him off where he's going to direct it. Anyway, he gets it over and it flies in, and as he's running by, he just elbowed me right off my left eye. And it was like blood vision, and it actually woke me up. And on the back of that, I scored 2. And we won 2-1 that night, but it was in vain, because despite going to Villa, and I think we won that game down at Aston Villa, Villa Park. I think our header came off the man, Davenport scored. But eventually went down. Last game of the season, we went down against Sheffield Wednesday. But yeah, you're right. I get booked. For what? I'll read these out, I promise. So that's the Park night. So you can, 7.enterprises@hotmail.co.uk. It's £500 a table meet and greet, a table of 10. The balcony seats are £50 meet and greet, and £30 for a seat. All the money donated will go to Gary Parkinson, who needs 24-hour care, who's my former teammate, and we all love him. That's why we're all turning out. Gary Hampton flying over from America. Burnout, will foreign currency be accepted for party fund? I'll be honest, I don't know the answer to that. I'm sure it will. I'm sure they can convert it, but I'm not a bank manager or... well, I think you've already established that. Right, North East Facebook Live. Here we go. I think this is a Saki one. Jack says, the only consolation is a Borough fan from Sunday, Bernie, is your 16-second goal in the Derby games intact. Yeah, thank you. I'd rather it get beat and we won and played better than we did. John the Borough fan says, how bad were Borough on Sunday against Sunderland, Bernie? I've mentioned it. We were poor. There was nobody. Man of the match, I used to give man of the matches, and there was a lot of times I never gave man of the match. There's no way I'd have given a bottle of champagne for our performance on Sunday. If it was going to anybody, it'd have been a Sunderland player. There was a few of their players caught the eye, but we were off the boil. And I don't know why, because it's a derby game. As I say, there's Fry and Hackney. Hackney, I think, for Redcar. Fry's Borough lad. Those two apart, do the rest really know what the derby means to the fan? To the working class fan, I don't know. Well, on that evidence, they don't. Even I get fired up for derbies because I'm from Glasgow, Celtic Rangers derbies. Know the passion involved, know how much it means to the fans. And the 40-odd thousand fans, that's why the 40-odd thousand turned up. And they got right behind Sunderland. And I could hear the Middlesbrough fans through the screen as well. That's how important it is to them, but the players didn't get it. Bernie Carrot is fuming as we speak. He wants the signing, and Mr. Scott has foolish him. Mohammed, so Bernie Carrot is fuming as we speak. He wants to sign. Hopefully Tuber can study Stuart diving DVD. Yeah, well, hey, I tell you what, you're right. Hey, I know there's a bit of sarcasm there, but you're right. That's what I will say. Akpom, I don't think it made any difference, but Akpom should have had the penalty to save my life. He was brought down late on. For me, it was a penalty. Well, I'm not a referee. It must be a difficult job, a horrible job. But I think the referee got it right, Fry getting his matching orders. I thought he got it wrong. It was a penalty. And I thought Akpom should have been a penalty. But it wasn't. So it's water under the bridge. Dave, Newcastle fan, says, impressive performance last night. Wembley, here we come. Well, Dave, I can't disagree with that. As I say, I've got a ritual now where the footballs were polluted with football on the television. I go walk my dogs late afternoon, getting dark, come back, wash, something to eat, watch the football. And I watch, if it's Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Rangers, Newcastle, I watch them all. And I love it. And Newcastle, as I say, it's an unbelievable turnaround. The manager, well, he get the manager of the year at Newcastle. You know, the way he's turned things around. I know he's been back to the hilt financially, but he still has to get them motivated and play the right way and some turnaround. And by the way, the used Geordie fans, I don't know what it is, used Geordie fans, you love taking your tops off. I'm looking at that game last night, Southampton down there. I know the temperature's probably a wee bit warmer than up here, but I can't imagine still in January it'd be like abroad. The only thing I'll say, that I must have seen about 24 naked men, Geordie fans with their tops off. I have to say, you're getting slimmer. That's one thing. Used to be all the big fat Geordie lads that used to take the shirts off. Now it's skinny lads. The younger generation have probably watched videos and clips of older Newcastle fans with big kites taking their tops up, and they thought, hey, they can do that. I've got a six-pack. I'm going to show my body off. Anyway, some Sunderland fan says, walking the park on Sunday, couldn't believe how poor you were, Bernie. Look, I can't defend indefensible, Sam. I know you're a Sunderland fan. Maybe you're trying to wind me up, but we've been very good under Carrick. I've enjoyed it. I watched and supported the Geordies last night. Good game. Enjoyed it for Jeffrey. Yeah, it was a good game last night. Where were we? Yeah, I can't defend indefensible. We were poor Sunday, but we've been very good since Michael Carrick arrived. Him and Jonathan Woodgate did a tremendous job. I'm not going to get on the case. I'm just talking about one game. We were crap Sunday. We deserve what we got. No fire in the bellies. I don't know why. As I say, I've played many a derby game. I think I've won, or my team's won the majority. But we get beat a couple, but I can't remember the tough lads in our team not going in and tackling and ruffling feathers and getting in amongst them. Maybe a bit of blood spilt here and there. There was nothing like that Sunday. Honestly, it was slow motion. What got you fired up for a game, Bernie? Any superstitions or rituals you went through or did? Well, I had to wear 7, and sometimes the lads used to hide it. They used to know my gun to the toilet and wet my face, and then I'd come to get a shirt and some of the lads would hide it, and that used to drive me crackers. I had no real superstition. Some of the players used to punch the door. I remember Stuart Ripley punching the door down at Bristol. I think he was in a rage, and he broke it and he had to pay for it. Some lads used to, what was some of the rituals? Tony Mowbray, who's the, and you can ask him this if you're a Sunderland fan. Tony Mowbray be 10 minutes. Wow, that's went quick. Tony Mowbray used to, when I first came to Middlesbrough, in the warm-up, I'd get the ball and I'd play 1-2s off your mates. There's a few balls out. And I'd done it to Mugger one day, and as it went towards him, he opened his legs, let it go, and I went, what are you doing? He said, I don't touch the ball before the game. Bernie, I'm here in Spain. Taking any photos of Gary Pattinson would be nice to see. Cheers, Des. But yeah, Daz is, or Des is, however you pronounce it. I'm going to do YouTube thing. I'll have a word with all the lads, and I'll take clips of the night, and yeah, so I'll show loads of that to show people, you know, what it's all about. That I know the North East people have got hearts of gold. I know in times of trouble, we'll all dig deep and we'll all help each other. We've all got an opinion about teams now, but when it comes to the nitty gritty, life's more important than anything. I know the late great Bill Shankly says years ago, we know his quote, but that's a load of rubbish. Life and getting on, humanity is the biggest thing of all. But we've all got our teams, we get that, but come on. Is Stewie Ripley turning up? He was one of my favourite players. Well, I've texted them all and got in touch with them all, and they've all got back to me. Favourite players apart from you, Bernie. Just imagine how many goals you would have chalked off if VAR was about in your day, mate. Oh, Craig, you always have to sort of, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't have any goals, you're right. VAR, I tell you what, it's driving me crazy. If I was playing and scored in front of a packed hole getting, which I didn't used to jump the fence, I would stand now. If I was at the Riverside and scored, I would stand like this while they're checking it. I wouldn't be celebrating, making myself look stupid, and then for it to be chopped off. I seen the lad Forrest tonight scored a good goal. He was about that. Disallowed. Come on, the game. It's nonsense. And there's loads of them decisions that we can see in the house. They're still getting it wrong in the VAR lot. Need the response against Watford. Going to be a hard game. I know they'll fry either. You think Watford will be there, but obviously big paddock coming. Alec Henry. The playoffs in May. You think Watford will be in the playoffs in May. Fingers crossed we bring in a few players and no outgoings. But if it was me personally, as a Borough fan, I have no control. I've only got an opinion. I would keep all the players. I wouldn't let them go anywhere. I'm only surmising. If Jones went, I wouldn't be surprised. If McNair went, I wouldn't be surprised. But would I deep down want them to go? No. I want them to stay. Bernie, VAR's spoiling the game for me. I agree. VAR's been... I don't know any former footballer, manager or the fan who think VAR's a great idea. I know you need to move with modern times, but if they keep getting it blinking wrong, fancy Newcastle to win it. Tell you what, does he? Why not? Why not? Keith Watson says, Paulins, the shirt on before walking out onto the pitch was one. That's true. Mugger out, thought and out. Did Carrick, his experience showed through, did not like it, but if you have to lose to anyone, lose Mugger, it's acceptable. Yeah. I mean, I could have quite easily texted Mugger, well done, but I'm not going to do that. Mugger knows he's done well. He doesn't need the plaudits. Mugger's a down-to-earth lad. He's a charitable guy. He's a great guy. I always say he's got morals and standards and principles. A lot of people in football don't have those qualities, and he's got it in abundance. Good luck to Mugger. I love him. Where am I here? Terry Sunderland says 1 point behind the Borough. We had 4 first-team players missing and still done ye's 2-0. All right, calm down, Brian. I read it out. I said I'd be fair. Bob the Butterflies, never a sending off for a penalty. Do you agree? No, I mentioned it earlier, Bob. I'm not going to get involved. Definitely sending off because Dale Fry was over him like a rash, pulling and hauling and grabbing him, and he was going towards the keeper. And tell you what, when you watch it, if you watch it again, so Big Stuart's got in front of the back 4. So we've all went to sleep. 1 ball's beat us all. Pulling, hauling, he's going through. When he does hit it and he falls, Stefan still spills it. And if it was still in play, it probably could have ended up the back of the net. Mugger, oh no, I've read that. I hope the Geordies do win the cup for Jeffrey. Oh, dear God, I'll need to move back to Scotland if they won the cup. Imagine that, Malcolm McDonald and all that, Supermac and all that. Bob Minker. Oh, dear me. Stefan, this is Jane the Borough fan. Stefan, a goalkeeper, is vulnerable. Yeah, so it was just that. I was reading something else, but I've read it. Look, I'm no goalkeeping expert. I'm a former centre forward who played against some of the best. Peter Schmeichel, probably the best. But this guy, just with his antics, the messing about, the slowing down, the poor balls in here. Hackney get booked 3 weeks ago because of his stupidity. Last week, we nearly gave a goal away, get off the hook. This week, Sunday, got off the hook again. He's going to be costly. I says it about Lumley. Middlesbrough fans who watched me on this over the years. Lumley, I said, would cost us top 6. Him and the centre forwards, and they did. And I'll tell you, if we don't make top 6, the keeper with some partner. He'll either get chipped when he's wandered away with his goal, or he's going to get a duff pass that's going to end up in the back of the net because someday he's going to play to a decent centre forward who's going to finish it off. Still need a couple of players, Bernie. And what do you think of Archer? Well, I mentioned Archer. I still think he's lightweight. He'll be nippy, obviously, and he'll be quick. And he needs a run. But I'm not overly convinced. I was a wee bit deflated when I seen his height and stature. Mickey says, a Sunderland fan. As a Sunderland fan, you have always had a good goalkeeper at Borough. There was Jim Platt. When I was younger, Stephen Pears under you, Bernie Schwarzer, even Randolph that went back to West Ham. That Stefan could have... yeah, I could have scored against Stefan, he says sarcastically, Mickey Sunderland fan. Nothing to say to that, really. You've said it all. Bernie, can you mention information about Parky for Laurie, a North East fan? I've mentioned it. If you're interested in coming to Gary Patton's tonight, you don't have to be a Middlesbrough fan, but the players 86 guys like Pears, Pallister, Cooper, Mowbray, Hamilton, Laws, Ripley, Stevens, Slaven, Turnbull, will all be there to support Parky. Every penny goes to Parky. God bless Gary Pattinson from Sunderland supporter. Cheers. Yeah, we're all going to be there. Bruce Rear's going to be there. Tony Mowbray's going to be there. Steve Gibson, the chairman, is going to be there. Millmate Lenny Lawrence is going to be there. And there'll be a few ex-players as well. Neil Madison's coming. So there's a table for ex-players. Then 86 players is going to be there. Then there's going to be chairman, managers, whatever. So it's going to be a great night. It's going to be an emotional night, a euphoric night. And the town hall's a grand place. And there's some wonderful auction prizes going. I mean, there's one guy donated... 10-bedroom villa in Spain. I've seen photos of it. Wow. Incredible. So hopefully that raises a few quid for Parky. Where are we now? So Fry's appeal went down the River Tees. What did that, Fred? Still need a couple of players. I mentioned that. Mickey Sunderland, some fan. Yeah. Lorna, Newcastle. Do you still see Supermac? Meaning Matt McDonald. I love the Three Legend show. I've not seen him for a wee while, but still in contact with him, yeah. I see Eric Gates, see Vicky Hossel. Eltel, I don't think it's Terry Venables, but Eltel says, a few Borough players out of contract, House and Watmore, etc. What do you think? Well, this is up to Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick's he wants his own men in. And managers do that, and at the end of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if there's 4 or 5 up that he'll get rid of them all if he's got the finance to bring other players in. Peter Schmeichel was the best, but you beat him. The legend Gary Parsons, the past to score in your playing days. Yeah, still owes me money, Pars. We him a day, Pallister. I should have mentioned it all the years ago. We used to go socialising, and I says to him, "I'll score against you." We played them in the league. And we played them in the semi-final and League Cup. Old Trafford, well, it was 2 legs, 0-0 here, went down Old Trafford. We were clubbing it on the Saturday, and a week or 2 later we were playing them. It was me and Curtis Fleming, my old teammate, who's at Bristol now with big Nigel Pearson. He's a coach down there. And they were having a few drinks. I'm drinking my lemonade and Pally's wine is up what they were going to do. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'll score against you. I bet you, I'm not a betting man, but I betted them a couple of quid. Still waiting on it. Just typical, innit? I see Borough's former defender, Jed Spence, is up for grabs as Spurs don't want him. I think somebody mentioned that earlier. Well, they paid 12.5 million. So, if you don't know Jed Spence, went to Forest on loan, helped get them promotion, moved to Spurs. He's a right back. He did brilliant at Forest. Host of clubs are meant to be wanting his signature at a minute or on loan. He's fit, he's skillful, he's direct, he's confident, he's got a bit about him, he's got a bit of a swagger. But Conte made it clear that he never signed him, so no surprise that he's not really given much game time. This is the thing I keep saying. The guys in charge of the team pick the team and train the team. They don't necessarily bring the players in or let the players go. And the sooner you get your head around that, then you know that one guy should not carry the can. Nelly, no, the elephant, is it? Nelly from Newcastle says, I heard rumours Newcastle's are looking to offload. Is it Alan St. Maximum? Surely not. I tell you what, he's skillful, he's strong. He came off the bench last night, didn't he? He played well when he came off the bench. Full of energy. Like him. Just like his style. It looks as if he enjoys it. Exuberant, he just looks as if he enjoys it. I think he signed him in, 2019? There's a few quid he signed him for, wasn't it? What was he? Yeah, 2019. I think they paid a few quid. I think they paid like 16 million quid or something for him. But he's done well. Bernie, the cleaning lady, won't want Spence back having to get rid of the cigar smoke. That's right. Jed Spence, if you don't know, when Jed was at Nottingham Forest and helped him get promotion, he was getting rave reviews. Teams like Arsenal were meant to be in for his signature. He was caught in the dressing room. Well, he wasn't caught. He posed with a Forest strip on, a scarf and a big cigar. And put it on social network. Wound some people up. Evening, Bernard. Bumped into your mate Mugger today. Had a lovely chat and selfie. Top man, the class of 86. Cheers, Nathan. Mugger is a top man. He is a top man. Where are we here? Yeah, but we're going to finish anyway because I'm a minute away. James the Borough fan says, no, Jane the Borough fan says, Kieran Scott, sporting director, has yet to prove his worth. Who has he brought in? That's a fair old question. Well, as yet, nobody, I don't think. Nobody of any note anyway. But I seen an article recently on praising Carrick, and every right to praise Carrick. But Carrick's come into the environment and he will work in tandem with Kieran Scott, whereas experienced managers wouldn't. And I get it. Come on, if you're ruling the roost and you've been round the block and you've started down here and you've worked up as the managerial ladder, and then all of a sudden a young guy's employed to start telling you who they're getting in, who they're letting go, or advising you, I don't think that would work. I think that's looking for a clash. Carrick's come in, inexperienced, he's coach, and he's going to work in tandem with this guy. But there's no doubt, there ain't no doubt, down the line, they'll come to loggerheads. They won't go out there, but they will. Of course they will. Because Carrick's not going to get everybody. If Carrick only gets one in this window, I think Carrick will be, I don't think he'll be happy. Well, I'm not happy. I'm only a fan now. I'm sure if I was a manager, or the coach, I'd be fuming to only get one in. We need more than one in. Another name mentioned, Patrick Roberts. Warnock didn't bring him in. Never a Warnock player in a million years. He's a footballer. He played well on Saturday. He causes problems down that right. Patrick Roberts, lad that was at Celtic, came to Middlesbrough. Warnock never picked him because he never brought him in. But he played well. Piero, I keep coming up. Waste of money, Piero. Who brought him into Middlesbrough? I'd love to know the answer. Piero, if you're thinking who's that, Argentinian, came in about a year and a half ago, couple of games, got injured, got COVID, got injured again, never played, headed back to Argentina. I think he's at Boca Juniors or something now. But we paid £5 million when we're short of cash. Who signed him? They'll go hiding under the bed. Oh, wasn't it me? Anyway, let's see. That's it. Right. That's it. So listen, thanks very much for joining us. Sunderland fans, Newcastle. I'm on every Thursday. Tonight was a one-off because I've got to do on tomorrow. So I thought I'll get it out of the way, and it's important to talk about my beloved teams because it's a hotbed of football again up here. It's exciting. Things are happening. Newcastle's flying. Newcastle is odds on to be in the League Cup final, which Middlesbrough won in 2004 in Cardiff. You can't get a trophy cabinet. I tell you what, you get ripped off with that trophy cabinet, Newcastle. They know how much money you've got now. And you need to get a dust now and again if you do win it. I'll ask you next Thursday, do you think you'll win it? Would you put your money on? We'll have a wee bet. Listen, thank you very much for joining us. Borough fans, I'll be back Saturday, 6:30. Facebook Live will be at the game against Watford. Good luck to Middlesbrough, of course. Good luck to Newcastle. Good luck to Hartlepool. Good luck to Darlington. Good luck to Sunderland. Yeah, and I'll be on next Thursday talking about North East football. But Saturday, 6:30, dash back to the Riverside, talk about the Borough. And then I'll have part 2 of Gary Hamilton on Total BS, my weekly podcast, which is on, well, it's everywhere. Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Spreaker, and it's free. Thanks very much for watching. I was going to say up the Borough, but I can't because it's a North East show. Up everybody. Up the Geordies, up the Mackhams, up the Darlingtonians? No, the Hartlepool, the Monkey Mob, and the Borough. Cheers. Thanks very much.